Wow. Hello, everyone. I didn't expect to come back to Reddit and have this much support. After I wrote down all that happened, I closed my computer and kind of fell into a depression. After I posted, it hit me like a train. To people who think it's fake, I wish I was this creative. I'd write books instead of working a 9 to 5. So, the day after I posted, I tried to get in contact with my mother, but none of my calls were connecting. I wanted to see if she would get lunch with me and I'd tell her everything. After a dozen tries, I decided to get into my car and go to my mother's house. She needed to know what happened as soon as possible, even if talking about it was going to make me hurt all over again. During the drive, I thought about what I would say and how I would say it, and that made me start to panic. I had to pull over twice to throw up. Ugh. It's not every day you have to tell your mom that her husband is dancing with your fiancé. I pulled into the driveway and sat in my car for a moment to calm down and gather my thoughts. I was in my car for a few minutes when my mother threw her front door open, so I stepped out of my car. She started cursing at me, saying, "How dare I come to her home after I hit my father for trying to break up a fight between Elle and I." You know, it's a really good thing you got that video. She called me every name in the book and called me an A-word. She told me I needed to leave since Elle isn't ready to forgive me yet, and if she's smart, she hopefully never will. Yes, apparently my father took Elle to my family's home and told my mom that Elle and I argued, and when my father tried to stop it, I hit him. She continued on for a while until I finally snapped and said, "Really, Mom? Because your husband is dancing with my fiance, and that's why I hit him. And if you can't take my word for it, I have a video. I'll send it to you. But because my own mother can talk to me like this, don't expect to see me again. I don't want to hear your apology. When you finally figure it out, you're just as of a mom as my piece of father." Her face dropped. She looked like what I must have looked like when I first walked into my apartment and caught them. I pulled out my phone, sent her the video. My mom took hers out and turned it on. She pulled up the video and watched the part where I turned on the light. She then put her phone down. She looked up at me, but I turned and went to my car. I backed out of her driveway. I looked at her before I took off, and she was in tears. My heart felt for her, but too much was said during that fight for me to pull back in and forgive her. I get that. I get, like, emotions are heightened, but, like, she was manipulated into believing a story that wasn't true, right? And she heard it from two different people who lied to her. So I hope that you do work it out with your mom, because I feel very bad for her as well. When I got home, I started clearing everything out of my apartment that had to do with Elle or my family. I boxed all of Elle's things up and put them next to the front door. Legally, this has been her place of residence, so I can't technically kick her out. Her name isn't on the lease. Also, she's the type of person who shies away from conflict, and if she returns other than to pick up her things, there will be plenty of conflict. Anything that had to do with my parents, I boxed up and put into storage. Like I said in my first post, we're a very close family, but I've never had a problem cutting toxic people out of my life. I texted Elle's parents and told them I'm calling off the engagement and told them she's been cheating on me. I thanked them for everything they've done for me. Our relationship was still building, but they were kind and supportive. So this just added more hurt. I finished by asking if they would come pick up her belongings. I haven't gotten a response, but I'm hoping they come grab her things so Elle doesn't have a reason to come back here. That's pretty crazy that, like, when your mom wasn't picking up the phone, people are pointing out in the comments that, like, he clearly, like, lied to her about something, about how that whole situation went down. But it's crazy that he still lied knowing that you had that video. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Everything hits me in waves. I go from just being numb to boiling with rage. I haven't had a happy moment since I found out. Ugh, bestie. Can you imagine having married this person though? Like, other than a few friends, I don't have anyone in real life, especially since my father turned out to be. Quite a few things happened since I posted last. It's been about a month, so this update will tell all that's been going on. After my last post, I decided to get the ball rolling on everything that needed to be done, like getting tested, finding a therapist, moving, and of course, buying a new bed. I started by calling my doctor's office, telling them I needed to get tested and refer me to a therapist. I had my first appointment with the therapist 2 weeks ago, and we decided to continue once a week. I also got tested last week, but it'll be another week or so, so until I get the results, cross your fingers for me. I got in touch with a real estate agent friend of mine, and he sent me a ton of listings, and I decided on a refurbished cabin on the outskirts of my city. I finished moving 2 days ago. When I finished moving, I called Elle's parents. When they didn't pick up, I told them I moved out, and Elle has still yet to pick up her things, and the landlord will start showing the apartment in a few days. So someone better pick up her things before the landlord throws it out. That must have lit a fire under them, because the next day, my former landlord texted me thanking me for getting the apartment emptied out. No one knows where I live other than the friend who set me up with this place, so I know Elle or my parents won't be dropping by. The only thing that sucks about this place is I traded a 10-minute walk to work for a 45-minute drive. You're doing, honestly, all the right things. And like, I know you don't feel at this point in your story great, and you know, it's probably still fresh. You're doing all the right things to move on. My phone has been blowing up with texts and calls from Elle, both my parents and some of my friends, but I have no interest in talking to anyone other than my therapist. At work, I've been a ghost. I go in, get my work done, and leave. On the rare occasion I have to talk to someone, I put on my fake smile and pretend everything is okay. My boss from my previous post has been trying to check on me more, but I don't really tell her anything. I just tell her I appreciate it, but I'll be okay. Truth is, I don't know if I'll be okay. I get that time heals all, but I feel like that's only relevant when you're dealing with one issue, not when you lose who you thought were the 3 closest people in your life, all at once. A huge part of me died, and there's no chance of resuscitating it. Yeah, I mean, listen, like I said, I wouldn't totally throw a relationship with your mom out the window. I understand she said some really horrible things, but she's also a victim in all of this. Maybe eventually you guys can talk about it. The meetings with my therapist are going well. I've never done therapy before, so I have no reference on what good therapy is. We do get along, and she seems genuine in wanting to help. The first session was us getting to know each other and delving into what brings me to her. Nothing in depth, but me telling her what happened in my own words. Second session, we went deeper. She asked me about the relationship I had with my parents, and I told her up until now, it was great. We talked often, always communicated well when something was wrong, and I grew up in a great home, but all that means nothing now. She asked why I cut my mother out of my life. I told her she said things to me I wouldn't say to someone I despised. Then told her there's no way she can come back from that. At the end of our last session, I gave her the link to my page on here so she can read more about how I feel and what's going on in my head. I feel like it's easier to type things out than it is to speak it. So if you're reading this, hi, Doc. Hi, Doc. For now, I'm still miserable. I thought I'd be okay by now. Not necessarily happy, but okay. It's gonna take a bit. I know some of this is my own fault, not communicating to my friends, but when I think about responding to them, it just seems so exhausting. I know they'll want to get together or come to my new place, but I just don't have the energy to be around them. Until I do, I'll work, I'll go to my appointments and sit on my back deck, sipping some bottom shelf and try to enjoy this beautiful view. I haven't hunted since high school, so maybe I'll take that up again, now that I can hunt from my back porch. I totally understand. I'm also someone that goes inside myself when like bad things happen. Sometimes it's just easier to process things, but like when you feel ready, I do think having a support system is good. Like isolating yourself isn't always, I'm learning, the best thing for us. A period of reflection is good, but I'm sure you will have a ton of support when you choose to open up. We have one more update 8 months later.